wanted to ask you, one of the guys that watched the channel commented that he's a little bit afraid to take this stuff because he's afraid that he's heard that people lose interest in things like sex.
Oh, no problem there.
Have I lost interest in sex?
No, he chases me around the house quite often.
Hey guys, it's Ben. Happy Thursday to you. I hope your Thursday is going great, and I hope your week was great. I know it's late. I'm getting this one out late. My daughter stopped over today with the grandbaby, and of course, you know, that priority takes precedence over this one. So there you go. Anyway, people have been reminding me, Ben, you need to start out these videos to tell people where you have come from and where you're at now and where you're planning on going. So I'm going to do that right now. I started out my weight. Let's start with that. I'm not really sure. So here's why. I stopped getting on scales after I got over 220 pounds. I'm a 5'9" guy. So 220 pounds on a 5'9" guy doesn't look the best, and it doesn't feel the greatest either, let me tell you. But I stopped getting on scales after about that point, and I didn't look at another one for a long time. I probably got up to around, we're estimating, 240, 250 pounds. Not the biggest guy on the planet, but the biggest weight I've ever weighed, and it's big on me. You know how some guys can carry that kind of weight? I can't carry it. No, just wasn't happening. So I started losing weight on my own without any help of any drugs. I was doing the diet thing, and I got down, kept dropping down, and I'd gain weight. But I finally got my weight down through diet, mostly, and a little bit of exercise, to be a little honest with you, very little. I got my weight down to about 180, 190, mostly 190. I couldn't get it down any lower, and I thought, wow, I was stuck there. That's where I'm going to be. I'm okay with that. I'm okay being a chubby guy, right? I'm okay with that. And I was okay with 180, 190. I didn't feel terrible. I felt a lot better at that weight than I did at around 240, 250. Anyway, let's shorten this story. What got me on this weight loss drug? Not the fact that I wanted to lose any more weight. I was pretty okay with where I was at. I went to my doctor and I told her my feet were tingling at night and they were hurting, and I wasn't sure what was up. So she got a blood panel ran. She had a pretty good idea what was up. She ran a blood panel on me. My blood sugar came back. I was at 10.6 A1C. I had a blood glucose reading of 474. That's pretty high for you guys that don't know. For you guys that do know, I know that there's higher ones out there. Tell me what the highest one you've ever heard of. Now, I've heard one that was close to 600 before, and the guy wasn't dead. So if you've heard of a high one, you let me know. Okay, let's get back. So I've got ADHD too. That's another thing you need to know about me if you're going to be watching these things. I kind of go off on these weird tangents. Sometimes they're fun, sometimes they ain't fun. Bear with me. Okay, so I got down to about 180, 190. Doctor said, oh, blood panel came back. You got the diabetes, right? You got the diabetes, and we need to get you on something. Do you want something that you take once a week, or do you want something that you take every day? And I had been on metformin before, and I was pretty sure that's what she was alluding to, and I didn't want to go back on that stuff because it was awful for me the first time. So I said, I want the one that we do once a week. Well, it was that injectable Mounjaro that I've been on. Am I saying it right now, Mounjaro? I hope I am. But it was the injectable Mounjaro that she put me on, the 2.5 milligrams to start, and man, I started losing weight. To make a long story short, it got my A1C down from 10.6 to 5.4, and my blood glucose readings down from 474 to this week's average, y'all, this week's average, 111. Okay, so it's down from last week. Now, I was in the mid-90s to hundreds. I was mostly in the mid-90s there for a long time. My blood sugar started rising again. And I was injecting it in my stomach, and somebody suggested, hey, since your blood sugar's on the rise, why don't you give a different injection site a chance to see if that might bring it back down. See, it might work for me, is what they told me. So instead of doing it in my stomach, I did it in the back of my arms, and ever since I started doing it in the back of my arms, my blood sugar's been going back down. I got it up to about a 126 weekly average about 3 weeks ago. Slowly, it's been coming down since I started injecting it in my two arms here the last couple of weeks, and it's down to an average of 109 this week. So it's down from 111 from last week to 109 this week, and it's heading in the right direction, and I love it. My weight, was 180, 190 when I started this stuff. Last week, my weight was 158.8. I know. Incredible. I'm hoping that I'm below 160 still because my target weight is 155. That's my absolute target. So my goal target weight is between 150 and 160. Figure I give myself a couple pounds either way, try to aim for this middle. Now, listen, the honest answer is, Ben, what's going to happen if you go over 160? What happens if you hit 161? Are you going to freak out and, go crazy on the YouTubes? Nah, I'm not going to freak out. I'm aiming for that middle spot. If I go over 160, that just means I need to watch what I'm eating a little bit more. Right now, for you guys that haven't been paying attention, I've been struggling with my caloric intake. Sorry, I have problems saying some words. I'm having a problem sometimes getting enough food in me to where I'm not losing weight. And then last week I actually gained a little weight. And I needed to actually. I'm hoping I'm right at that same weight at 158.8 or maybe a little bit lower. But my suspicion is, y'all, I might have gained a couple of pounds. I know. I had the hungers a little bit more this week. I don't know if it's because I'm shooting it in the back of my arm, but the hungers came back on a Tuesday and I ordered some stuff on Amazon. I got some protein beef sticks and the day they came in, I ate 3 of them in a row. They're 100 calories a piece, right? So not terrible, and they're totally protein, but I'm just telling you, that food voice returned. When those things came in, they looked so good, I couldn't resist them. And I ate one after another, and that wasn't like me, and I didn't like the feeling of doing that. But full disclosure, I want to be honest with you. Some of that voice is wearing off in my head on this 5 milligram dose. I talked to my doctor about it, and she wants to run the course with this stuff until we can't run it no more. She wants me to stay on 5 milligrams until my blood sugar readings go up over 140. She's not too concerned about my weight because she's not too concerned about my weight, if that makes any sense with it. She was concerned about my weight a little bit when we first started this stuff, and that's what she said. The side effect is you might lose some weight. I mean, you need to. And I did. I needed to lose some weight. But I think now she doesn't really want me to lose any more weight, and I don't either. But I do want those blood sugar readings to come down, so it's not going to break my heart if I gain weight this week, was what I'm trying to say. Because I can show, right? My blood sugar readings are going down. I'm gaining a little weight. That just means that I need to take on a little personal responsibility rather than say I need to go up a dose because, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight. I need to take on the personal responsibility to just watch what I eat, right? Get the exercise that I can get. I can't get much right now, y'all, because of my foot. I'll explain the foot thing later. Keep watching. Maybe not this video, but later. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'm sorry I get so far off track. Okay, so you know that my blood glucose readings are down this week. My average is down, thankfully, right? We're going to find out in a few minutes whether my weight's up. But first I wanted to go over some comments. And you're probably asking yourself, Ben, is your house on fire? Actually, that wasn't you asking me. That was Mama Slew asking me. She said, Ben, your house on fire? ? Explanation point. And no, my house isn't on fire. I just got some stuff smoking over there, just off camera view so you guys can't see it. At Steve the Tech says, smoke making my eyes water, and he has the laughy face with the one teary eye thing coming out there. And Miss Mickey Gal says, you must be a smoker too. Stop smoking. Well, I hate to break it to you, but here's the thing. It's not the Magic Mary Joanna. It's not the left-handed cigarette that I got smoldering over here in an ashtray. All it is, you guys, and it's nothing exciting, it's some incense, right? I burn it. And because it's now summertime and our back door is open and our windows are open, the circulation has changed in my house. And last week I hadn't noticed that the smoke was drifting across the lens until after somebody mentioned it. And I walked back and watched the video and I'm like, they must think I'm smoking it up in here. So it's incense. I got a whole drawer full of it. whole drawer full of it. And I burn it when I'm in the shower, and I shower right before I do these things because I like to be clean for you guys, right? I like to be nice and spick and span. I know one person at least is out there saying, what's up with that weird looking hair, man? I got to get a haircut. It's not always like this. Give me a break, man. Quit making fun of a fella's hairdo. Let's see. I've got this like reverse body dysmorphia now, right? Maybe it's not even reverse. Maybe it just is straight up body dysmorphia. You know, anorexic people, they look in the mirror and they don't see somebody who is super skinny, right? Down to the bone. They don't see it. They see that they got a big fat pocket over here. They need to lose some more weight on this side. They don't see what we see. And that's body dysmorphia, right? You don't see your body in the way it actually physically is. When I look in the mirror with my shirt off, I still see a fat guy. I told my wife this the other day when I was getting out of the shower. I'm not going to get into too much detail so the kids can stay in the room. I got out of the shower and she was like, hubba, hubba, right? That's about as graphic as it gets. Calm down. She said, hubba, hubba. And I was like, this fat, flabby thing? She goes, you're not fat. And I said, I still am pretty fat. I just need to tone it up now. And she goes, you're not fat, Ben. You're not. But it made me start thinking. I do look at myself as still that fat guy for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I still do it. And I don't know if I ever won't stop doing it. But what I need to start forcing myself to do is buy smaller shirts. At least start with the t-shirts. I almost forgot. And this happens. My weight last week was 158.8. We're going to take my weight right now and we're going to see where we're at right now. My feeling is I kind of feel like I gained a couple of pounds. I'm hoping I'm not too much over 160, but I fear I might be 161 is my guess. I'm sorry, you guys. If I let you down, I'm sorry. Believe me, I'm not letting you down. We'll head it the other way next week. Let's find out what it is before I start. I guess we don't need the drum roll today. Let's just get on this. Let's just get on this thing and see what we got. All right, what do we got to work with? Oh, this is looking good. Promising. Wow. That makes me happy. 156 is, that's a good weight. Now, why is that a good weight? My goal is 150 to 160. So right in the middle is 155. I'm only 1 pound over my perfect goal weight. All right, we're gonna get to the shot. I know this has been a long one. I had some stuff I wanted to say, right? I wanted to shout out Michael Dietz, 1223. Because Michael Dietz 1223 said in his last comment on my last video, he said, I honestly don't want to take this stuff because no one knows how it'll affect people long term. Also, I hear that people become depressed and lose interest in things besides eating, like sex and hobbies, etc. For me, that has not been the case. My interest in sex since being on Mounjaro has only gone up. And it's not coincidental with taking the drug. I think it's coincidental with not weighing as much as I used to. Things are just working better all over. I'm telling you that this is not something that I've heard of, and it's definitely not something I've experienced. I haven't lost interest in sex. I have lost interest in gambling. Now, gambling could be considered a hobby that you would lose interest in, and I have lost interest in that. I used to go down to the casinos about once every month or every other month. I wasn't a huge gambler, but it was something that we liked to do. We liked to go down there and put a couple bucks in the machine or maybe hit the tables for a couple hours and see how we do. Most of the times we'd lose. But it was the fun part. You know, it was those endorphins that fire up in your brain that made it fun. I don't get that anymore as far as gambling goes. When I'm chasing my wife around, I get that, right? When I catch her getting out of the shower, those endorphins come right back. And the Mounjaro is not affecting that aspect in any way. Now, the gambling part, yes. Also, there's been a change to my taste buds, right? My taste has changed. I don't like Diet Coke like I used to. In fact, it tastes like battery acid to me. I used to drink a case of the stuff every couple of days. I started taking Mounjaro. I drank like one and I was like, that tastes funny. And I thought it was a one-off because I've been drinking Diet Coke for forever. I hope I didn't say Dr. Pepper or Diet Pepsi earlier. Diet Coke was my drink. And I've been drinking it forever and loving it. I took one right after I started 2.5, tasted like crap. I just simply don't like Diet Coke anymore, and that is a drug-related situation with me. For sure, 100%. So I don't know if people get depressed on it. I'm sure that there are a certain amount that will, and I'm sure that there's a certain amount of people that will lose interest in things like sex and hobbies and stuff like that. But it wasn't me, and it's not the majority of the people. I think when we take these kind of drugs, we have to talk to ourselves, and we have to do a list, a pro-con list, right? We have to say, what's the pro of taking this and what's the con of taking this? Is this drug right for me? Because it's not going to be right for everybody. It's just not. Michael, I don't think there's nobody on this earth that can guarantee what a drug's going to do to one individual over another individual. But I think that the results are in enough to say that if this does happen, it's a very small percentage of the people that it is happening to, because otherwise it'd be all over the YouTubes and all those kind of places. People would be talking about the lack of interest in sex, for sure, I would think. I think I would have heard about it, because that would have been one of the first questions to my doctor. I think we've talked enough about sex. Okay, so it's injection time. But before we go to injection time, one more comment from user FX5BS8VZ8B. And they say, arms best for me, second is legs, and stomach is last. They're talking about the injection sites. That's what we're talking about. I'm getting ready to get injected. And I've just now made the decision that we're going to go for the arm again. It worked so good last week and the week before, we're going to do it another time. We're going to go back into the back of the left arm, because last week she went into the back of the right arm. So it's the back of the arm for me this time. And I also wanted to say good luck. They're moving him up from 7.5 to 10 milligrams. His blood sugars are averaging between 107 and 130. It's a little on the high side for a diabetic, for a pre-diabetic. That's a little bit on the high side, the 130 reading. So his doctor wants to get him back down, so moving him up to 10. My doctor's okay with me going up to about 140 on my blood sugars before she's willing to move me up. I'm okay with that too, especially after this week's weigh-in. That was exciting.
Hey y'all.
Hey KH, how's it going?
Good, baby. How are you?
I'm okay. You're probably wondering why the camera is at such an angle that I have to bend over. KH here was complaining last week that the angle was not suitable. Was that the word you used?
Yeah, all you could see was like my double chin.
I like your double chin. Anyway.
I'm losing it some.
Yeah. Listen, I wanted to ask you real quick before you do give me my injection of the 5 milligram of Mounjaro in the back of my left arm.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask you, one of the guys that watched the channel commented that he's a little bit afraid to take this stuff because he's afraid that he's heard that people lose interest in things like sex.
Oh, no problem there.
Have I lost interest in sex?
No, he chases me around the house quite often.
Now be careful, there's kids in here, so I just wanted to say. There are kids that watch these Mounjaro videos.
Okay, we got to give it in this arm this week.
Why are we changing the... Okay. All right, so we're doing it in my left arm.
Yeah.
Because we did it in my right arm last week. You need a...
Yes, I do.
You need a...
We got to scooch over because I'm not sure I'm in it anymore.
Well, we have to make you center of attention for sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so... Now, you're getting ahead of yourself now, girl. We need to get...
Here.
All right, there you go.
Here we go. I get to shoot him again, y'all. I'll be sure not to shoot the Karen.
Somebody said I don't have any fat on the back of my arm. I think they may be incorrect.
I think I have bigger muscles. What do y'all think? I could probably kick his ass.
You keep that up, and we are going to have a problem. We are going to have a problem with sex and Mounjaro.
All right, here
Okay.
we go.
Ow!
Lies.
Oh. Okay.
Lies. That did not hurt you.
It didn't hurt.
No, it didn't even bleed.
It's excruciating. It's because you didn't get it in there.
I did too.
It's dripping down my arm.
No, it is not.
Oh, okay.
You're so silly.
You did a good job.
Thank you, baby. Oh, and if y'all are wondering, I did not have time to put makeup on.
You look great.
We've had our granddaughter all day long.
We have all day.
All day. It's been fun.
That's why this video is going out so late. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Wanted to say thanks.
You're welcome.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Am I looking any skinnier?
I think you are. You are looking good. And you're not even doing the Mounjaro.
No.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye, all.
Isn't she lovely? This video has gone on for far too long. See you next Thursday.